Can you see my presentation?
I can, thanks, Sarah.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the data call today, and just to remind you of the research challenges that are looking for the data, the work package 8 and 9. Those are the 4 research challenges and their case studies: biodiversity loss, biochemical controls of ecosystem functions, climate, water, food nexus, and the socio-ecological systems. I think I don't have to go into detail. We heard about that, but just to remind you, in those science cases, they need different data from eLTER sites. There are 19 variables for site and plot description, and approximately 72 variables for long-term time series data like metrology, deposition, biomass, and so on. There's also separated data retrieval for the LTSER platforms going on. Those are the socio-ecological variables, for example, population structure, land use change. And in work package 4, there are also other data sources looked into, for example, remote sensing products. Now the data provision is organized. There's a good overview about that on the eLTER Europe homepage actually. I will post the link later on I can post it in the chat maybe. The description there is what the data package should include. It should include all the relevant information to enable the reuse of the data. For example, a code list, a method file, but the method, for example, could also be provided via the metadata. The metadata can be provided using DIMES SDR, as we will hear more about that later on. But if it's already published in a local catalog, that's also fine. The data packages should be provided via a web accessible resource. It can be either a download link, a web service, or using local infrastructures, or it's also possible to use the B2Drop, B2Share services. The data submission report that comes back to us or to me, this should only include links to the resources. I will show you an example for a data submission report here. Here you can see under the column general comments, you can see different data packages like epiphytic lichens, tree growth data, and so on. They all have the same site code to our site, to Boden, but the metadata is in a different DIMES site. So there's the link to the metadata, and there's the link to the data package itself on B2Share. So I will show you also an example. Look, this is the link, or like this is a screenshot from the eLTER homepage actually, where we describe the supported data formats. So if you're already using a standard data format, for example, ICP-IM, ICP forests, and so on, that's we want you to use that to report that. If it's already standardized, you don't have to change anything. Otherwise, it would be great if you could use the data template or the eLTER data template and provide the data with that. Here, you can download on the homepage the template, and here the PDF, the field specification for data reporting that will let you know how actually to use the template, what the different different templates are for, and this template was originally developed in the H2020 eLTER project, but we adapted it to the current needs. This document contains descriptions of all the required information for metadata, methods, and so on. Also the fields of the Excel files, of the template files, and all the templates for basic data reporting. It is basically structured of core fields that are generally recommended to use, and also an extension of fields that can be added if necessary. Here is an example. This is a data template, and there's also, you can see this, maybe I can't at the moment, but it's a README file inside the Excel document where all the fields are described. Now I will show you an example. This is an example of lichen biodiversity from our site Boden. Here you have the site code that links to the DIME site, this station code variable, the date basically, the taxa which is coded, and all the other information that is relevant. And the method in our case, we used DIMES to give information about the methodology. There's a own site for epiphytic lichens and a method description. We added also to the data template a reference file. So you saw before the taxa codes, and now they're described in this reference file. There's also a file, a site, a DIME site about the station codes we use. They are on B2Share, and if you download this file, you can see all the station codes, and they're described then with all the information you would need for reusing the data. This is a short overview about the structure of the B2Drop. I used the B2Drop folder for all the data we got for the data calls so far. So there's one layer with all the countries, then another layer with all the sites from, for example, here it is Italy. And then inside those folders is the data we got, and the metadata as well in this case. The status right now, we asked for biodiversity data. We contacted 171 sites, and so far 101 delivered some sort of data. 44 they wrote some sort of positive answer, but there's no data here yet. And 26 didn't reply at all, or told us they don't have data available at the moment. And in total, there were 192 data sets delivered from those 171 contacted sites. And with the rest of the data, all this abiotic ecosystem data, we asked 60 sites in total, 48 delivered data so far. But of course, like in these 48, not all the sites could deliver all of the data we asked for. And 8 sites are we're still hoping to get some data soon, and 4 didn't reply or didn't have the available data we needed. So in total, we're talking about 288 data sets delivered. This should be like 290 now, because I received data sets in the last days. And at the end, I wanted to remind you about the role and the request to the site and platform coordinators and the national coordinators. So the eLTER sites are doing observation and experiments to contribute to data provision and data calls. They should provide basic quality assurance and first data harmonization, and provide the documentation on the data. So to participate in scientific publications, data publications, and make use of the common services, for example, data quality assurance. And the role of the national coordinators is to encourage the engagement and the communication between the site and platform managers and the eLTER RI. And they should also communicate and inform about the needs for the implementation of the eLTER RI, and communicate the benefits to participate in the data provision. Like this could be, of course, co-authorship, but also being part of the scientific community, visibility for the eLTER site, data publication, and so on. Thank you.